Hello everyone, this is Anil Kumar. In the last video, we have seen this particular retrieve user and as well as an add user. Let me test this particular application whether it is properly running or not. I actually installed a Postman client over here, and I'm trying to open this Postman. So Postman, how to install the Postman and all, you can just Google it and try to install this Postman. It's a kind of just a mock testing API tool. So you can able to test it. You can able to provide the request in different kind of formats, whether in a JSON or text format. The typical Postman, even if you don't know the Postman, that's fine. I will try to explain. This is the typical Postman client will look like. So you can just type in the URL. Okay, whatever our URL is, something like localhost 8080 user, right? I think have we started the server or not? I think we haven't started it. So let me run. I think I need to run the user Springboot application, right? Springboot demo application. Let me run this particular application and make sure like this particular server has been started and without any errors. So I think it is kick starting. So what is our URL? It went to, it is started Springboot application on listening 8080 port and also our system mode console println and also it's got printed. So in the user controller, our request mapping is something like user. We need to provide an ID to retrieve the data. Maybe we can in order to save, we need to provide the user. What is this user? How we need to provide as a request body to save the data, that we will see in the Postman. Maybe I am just typing just get localhost user 8080. User is the URL, right? Let me send this request. What will happen? Nothing has happened. I think we got an error actually. So error, what it is saying, this method is not allowed. Okay, the localhost 8080 slash user, have we provided this method in our code? Slash user colon ID, or maybe a slash user post we have provided, not a get. Okay, this is a get, right? We haven't provided the get. We have provided. We need to provide some ID, maybe 101, 102, something. Okay, if you click on this, method is not supported. This is the error. If I provide some ID and try to get the data, it is saying null. Okay, it is trying to hit the particular console and it is not able to find the data. And probably in the console it would be printing also. Yeah, this is the earlier exception. Method is not supported, and this one it is not able to find. So we need to insert the data. How we need to insert the data? There is no 101 ID present over in our user repository. So we need to go to the post. So this is the beauty of a Postman. So here, if you open the Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, that is very difficult to post the data. So this particular user interface would give you the kind of provisions in order to post, to put all those requests it will support. So post, what is our URL? User, right? Post, this is the slash user, this is the URL. In this particular URL request, we need to supply the request body attribute. So how the request body attribute has to be provided? This is, they have different kind of tabs, params, authorization. Go to authorization, it is not required now. Header information, it's okay, but body. Okay, this is the body where you need to provide this particular user information. In the body, if you see, there is a different types like JSON, text, okay, JavaScript, different kind of formats we can able to provide it. Okay, you can click on the raw and you can provide the JSON. I have sample JSON. I am just trying to give ID. I am providing 101. Okay, I am trying to insert. This is data it is showing because I already inserted earlier and removed it. So user and the what is the third parameter? This is the language, right? So the language attribute to whatever we need to provide, that is a English, that is the default. So I'm trying to insert this data using the post. I'm just clicking on the send. Something happened, we don't know what happened. Let me go to the console. Probably it is the earlier exception only. So let me pull this data, whether this is the 101 user data that I inserted, right? Let me pull this particular 101 data, whether I am able to get this data or not. Send this request. I think this is the post, right? So I'm going to get, okay, going to get, and I am sending this data. Now whatever I inserted, I got this data. Let me send it. Send it in the sense, let me find this request. Even for this 101, even if you go to Google Chrome and try to uh, request this data is coming from the database. If you are not sure if this is not coming from database or not, maybe we will try to post another request. Okay, I am clicking on the post. Okay, go to request body. You create another thing 105. This data is not existing, right? uh, User 105 and Spanish. Okay, this particular user has a Spanish language. Click on send. Okay, click on send and go to the get method. Okay, go to get method and you need to provide 105 as well, right? So 105 is the request parameter, right? For the get method, see this 105 Spanish user 105, that data we are able to fetch. What if like we need to fetch all the users at one go? So for that we need to provide another method. Okay, I'm just stopped that console. I'm writing another method which is kind of retrieve all users. I'm just writing public, uh, yeah, kind of list. Okay, retrieve all users. Okay, retrieve all users. Let me create this method. It's basically kind of get method. We need to map request mapping we need to provide, right? Request, I think we need to annotate with request mapping. So request mapping. Okay, in this request mapping, what I am providing user. Okay, just a kind of user. I'm not mentioning anything. User without an attribute, user with post, user without any argument. For a get method, it would default to the uh, this particular method where I am trying to fetch all the data. So what I will do is, there is a method called uh, first let me create a list. Okay, list, uh, all users list. Okay, maybe a kind of new array list I am making. We'll see like how we can able to fetch this data and how we can able to accommodate this particular data. User list, I just imported this a kind of user list. What I'm doing is, there is a method called in user repo. Okay, user repo should find all the records, and then for each element what I am doing is, I am trying to add that user object data into the list. Okay, this is the method to try to add for each instance. Okay, I'm trying to add for each argument, I'm trying to add it to the user list. So this is the method, right? So if you see, for all the lists, we can able to add it to the users list. If you are able to add this particular all users list, then this particular data would fetch into the users list, and you can able to return this particular user data. So let me see whether it can able to work it out or not. Okay, this all users list, which is a collection of all the user elements. I need to try to run this application, right? If you run this application, all the earlier data would go away, would vanish it. So it would only remain it will only remain blank. Let me test this particular thing. Okay, that is properly working on. I think it's ran correctly. So let me pull this data 105 whether it is existing. No, because the persistence has gone. So we need to again go to the post. Okay, uh, try to go to the post. We need to remove, I think we need to go to the post method. Okay, click on post, go to the user, go to the body. I am trying to insert 102 here. Okay, 102 with English. Okay, so I am able to insert. I am just changed, only the message has not came, that's why you are not able to see, but that has got inserted, believe me. User 105, this is a Spanish. Okay, and I am posting this data as well. Posting in the sense I am inserting, and I am inserting another record called 109, user 109, and this one is Chinese. Okay, I'm inserting this one. So go to the get method. Okay, go to the get method. You try to get all the records. I'm not mentioning any particular ID, I'm trying to get all the data. So I clicked on user data. See, everything has gone, everything has came. Whatever I inserted, 102, 105, 109, all the data has been displayed. So this is how a beautiful simple REST API can be built. If you see, if you observe this particular code, there is very minimal effort. If an experienced person can able to make this particular application within 15 to 30 minutes, there is nothing much been involved, no verbose coding. It's a very single liner coding. Okay, with a single liner I am able to save the data, fetch all the data, and we can update the data as well. We have a user repository which is having nothing is there. Okay, just I extended a code repository, make use of all the Spring Boot related feature. So this is the beauty of a Spring Boot application. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. I will make more videos on this Spring Boot in upcoming sessions. Thanks a lot.